And welcome everybody to another glorious episode of the Put on Raiders podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean, beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSPR is my Twitter handle. Check me out there. Also check out Ryan Holmes. You don't want to miss his all 22 videos coming up as far as on Twitter, and then with the season right upon us. Today is the first. And then, it's just a matter of time before kickoff between the Raiders and Patriots at Gillette, at the Razor, if you will, out there in the hellhole. I'm joking, Boston fans. In Massachusetts out there. So the Giants, the Raiders here in a situation, they pick up so Pete Carroll still wheeling and dealing, making moves. Him and John Spytek, they added another a quarterback, Jeff Driscoll, to the practice squad. And I think this is where you sit back and look at the situation and you say to yourself, hey, why do we waste a pick on Tommy Millott? And why do we waste a pick on Cam Miller? And I am coming up with that list of players who definitely had needs, who fit needs for the Raiders, who could have been drafted by the Raiders. Safeties and defensive players that they could have used instead of taking a swing at a guy who's just not going to make the team. And Cam Miller was a wasted pick. And I think, even if the story is that Tom Brady came in and said, "Oh, Tom Brady came in and said, hey, you know what? Hey guys, why don't we just draft this Tommy Millott guy, or we draft this guy from North Dakota State and Cam Miller." I think you got to sit there and say, "Hey, listen, we have a lot of holes. We don't have time to risk. We don't have time to waste one on a FCS quarterback." I mean, even if you took a quarterback, from a bigger school, then okay, fine, I can deal with that. But like that's not good. That's a waste. I mean, Brock Purdy went to Iowa State. Iowa State is a pretty good program. Iowa and Iowa State are pretty good programs. They put players in their pros pretty consistently. So, wasting time with things like that, those are luxury, like Buffalo Bills, um, you know, Baltimore Raven type picks. Those are teams that know they're going to be in the playoff. They'd have to lose their entire team for them not to make the playoffs. Every pick has to be scrutinized. Every move has to be scrutinized. Everything they do has to be scrutinized. There's not a single move that doesn't that this administration makes that we're not going to scrutinize, because it's all important. Because they need to build as much talent on this team as humanly possible. This defense is still very 100% brittle as hell. If they have any run of injuries in that secondary or in that linebacking core, they're going to be on the street looking for players. And I think Ryan and I pretty much had it with that part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like we talk about it all the time. They're going to be looking at street corners. I mean, Stokes has not played a lot of games. He has not played a lot of games. He's been hurt all the time. So to ask him to come in and play games is difficult. It's very hard to say, okay, guy, come here. Come on and play a game and play 17 games. That's not how it works. You get guys, you draft guys, you play them, or you get guys who are showing a proven track record to be just solid guys in your system. And if I could tell you again, Raider fans are not going to forget because especially because he went to the Eagles. Of course, if Jacorian Bennett does anything, I know he doesn't have the size and the length that you like, but right now the roster is the roster. And if he's the best cover guy, because that's when you that's your first and foremost your number one job is to be a cover guy. You got to make sure that you can cover receivers. If they can't cover receivers, then it is what it is. But Driscoll coming in is a guy who is, a bad career backup. If he plays, season's over. Um, but again, this was like they have him because they didn't take care of the quarterback position in the offseason. And they should have just took care. And instead of that, they're giving up draft capital, like a fifth round pick, to get Kenny Pickett when they could have probably just called Kenny Pickett and maybe got Kenny Pickett to come. So instead of him being like quarterback five, like literally quarterback five in Cleveland. All right. Raiders need help in the secondary badly. Don't Jabril Peppers just got let go from the Patriots. The phone call has to be made. He's only 29 years old. Obviously, the Patriots and Vrabel they don't like him for whatever reason. They can use any kind of bodies um that that they can get as far as quality, experienced people in the secondary. They need that badly. And I know people think it might not show up this week, but when you're really bad, when you're really inexperienced and you don't have a lot of talent in certain areas, it's a National Football League. Teams do a really good job of taking advantage of that. So I would look for the Patriots to try to do that. Now the Raiders, I think for sure can do some should be able to do some things as far as offensively and move the football against the Patriots and get things going offensively, but you don't want to score seven. You score three, give up seven. Score seven, give up seven. To go back and forth all day is just not in your best interest. They're going to have to win games like that early, I think. You know, and as far as running the football, we got to see. He is a guy who can help in the run game with tackling and things like that. So we'll see. I mean, maybe he feels like he got Jamal Adams, who let's go back and look at Seattle. Seattle, that was one of the worst trades and you could have in the NFL. That trade for Jamal Adams was pretty bad. Um, but the Raiders need as much help as they can. I would say get on the phone, call Jabril, call that agent and see if he wants to come. He made a point to say on his Instagram that he's been through 9 coaches and all this stuff like that, and he's been through so many different coordinators, and he's still a really good player. Hey, listen, they can take it. They can take as many good players as they possibly can get because they need them so badly, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. Like help you've improved the offense, so do whatever you can to help the defense because this being Max by himself every day doing all these doing trying to do all the work by himself, it's just not going to work. It's not going to continuously work for the Raiders. So we'll see. Ryan and I will be back in the middle of the week to preview the Patriots and the Raiders. No more foolishness, no more other talk. It's about the Raiders getting ready for this game against the Patriots, and it should be fun times. It should be good to see the Raiders see what they can do.